So welcome to another episode of the Presale Pulse Live, the original, where we talk about everything resale and presale in the Fraser Valley. I'm Ryan Lalonde, and of course, joined by real estate aficionado, Brittany Reimer.
Happy to be here. I'm out in the city again.
Out in the city.
Feels good.
Thank you for leaving the Fraser Valley for us.
You're very welcome.
Really excited about today's episode. We have a wicked show planned. As always, we're talking about industry gossip. We're touching on the resale market, and then of course anything that's trending or that we think is quite interesting in the presale marketplace. Today we're going to hit on three things that we're quite excited about. How the presale market has performed in February, which is big in the Fraser Valley. We also have to touch on the new peak that resale is pushing towards, right? And then we can't not touch on also some of the upcoming launches that we've seen, both activity-wise, but then also some of the build-ups for that are coming in March.
Agreed. I'm super excited to talk about how hot the market is right now, but I would like to reflect back to last month's Pulse, where you had a bit of a dig on the sales to listing ratios for Fraser Valley, and I can't help but think this just feels so good. Even though it's not my win, it's like we're in triple digits now for sales to listing ratios for townhouses, and I feel good. Like I got a W here. I got a W.
Well, let's talk more about that. I'm really excited to get into it. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with sales. We saw 2,815 sales for the month of February. Really, really strong month. If you recall, last month we were under 2,000 for sales, so incredible gains there. The big story is that is 108% higher than where we were last year in 2020 for February. Let's not forget, COVID didn't exist February 2020 in British Columbia. We did have a solid month, February 2020. I know on the pre-sale front, things are picking up.
The benchmark price from 2021 is up 3.9%. You know, Metro Vancouver is 2.9. We're almost an entire point higher than that. That is just an incredible rate of appreciation. What we're really seeing is that in the Fraser Valley is just all of that rapid buildup of buyer demand with the lack of supply, both in October, November, December, and January, has just created a position of extreme price growth.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of the pre-sale side in general. And when we look at where programs thought they were starting, I think of the Great One, for example, in Guildford. And we had heard 500 a square foot was where they were starting. They got their suite request forms in. They saw the amount of demand, and we know now that they're in the high fives. So we're seeing this right across the board on the resale side, but that translates very directly to the pre-sale business as well. Sales to listing was 83% for February, so really strong number. I can't help but think though, I mean, we saw such a busy February. I see no signs of this slowing personally. I think we're going to roll right through the spring here, but at what point is there a little bit of buyer fatigue? We see between that $700 to $1 million mark on the townhouse, super hot, and between 1 million and 1.5 on the single family side, same story, 15 to 20 offers. And so it'll be really interesting to sort of see here in March, especially with spring break, although people won't be traveling, will there be a bit of buyer fatigue, and will people maybe sit on the sidelines for the month to see?
Right, you can only lose so many before at some point you become a little bit discouraged on securing your family home. We just heard from Scott Jingles, part of the trending hot topics on the Metro Vancouver presale pulse. His expectation is that we're going to continue to see a low rate environment, and certainly the perspective shared by Scott was that some of the affordable rates today are really fueling some of that demand.
Let's talk about presale.
Love to.
Let's do it.
Where do you want to start?
It was a busy month. I felt like last month we walked into this thinking that there wasn't a lot of activity happening, but it came fast and furious, no doubt about it, just with the amount of activity we're seeing. A lot of our development partners, but a lot of other developers in the industry looking to jump on board here and really capitalize in this busy spring market. We saw Frame, they sold out. They're coming out with their next release, which is Parallel by Hayer Group. We also saw Essence Properties selling out of Tribute, incredible success there, homes over 2,000 square feet, and now looking to push out Noble within the next 2 weeks here. Again, everybody really just looking to let's get into this while we can.
And that's really exciting, right? I mean, they do such a fantastic job of really understanding that end user and building around them. I think that's something that we've really come to learn as we've had the privilege of working together. The expectation expectation is that as long as some of the best developers in that space continue to really understand consumer needs, I think that there's a lot of runway, because so much of that market really is tailored towards that end user that's looking for a family home, right? A place to raise children or a place to retire to. A wide range of amenities are really going to support that lifestyle as it really comes alive over the next 5 years.
Absolutely. And then as we jump into the condo side, Latimer Village, Vesta Properties, they've had a huge amount of success over the last few years. I think this release of their latest building was probably the most successful they've seen. They released their G and their H building. They've got 207 doors there. Over the last 3 weeks, they sold 85% of that product. I think what's really important to keep in mind here is these aren't micro homes, right? We're talking about 700 square foot one bedrooms, and most of their 2-bedroom inventory being over 900, blend being around $550 a square foot, so really strong. But leading to that, just jumping right into the Guildford, Surrey market, we saw Unison come to market. So more of a boutique project, 80 units, sold 40%, which is really strong, and $650 a square foot. So my prediction is that gap is probably going to really bridge over the next 3 months, particularly between Guildford and Surrey and Langley. And then we're really going to see those numbers come up. Good indication for where price per square foot is at, though.
The parallels right now, though, when you think about 200 frame doors, 85% absorption rate in 30 to 45 days, and even if there's internal marketing and writing that's stretching out to 60, I think the cause for concern is how much money is being left on the table in these moments, and how much are we misunderstanding the marketplace. That many doors sold in 30 days, I think that we have to really question, what is the real price per square foot for a more balanced market in that neighborhood? Are prices going to push over $600 a square
Absolutely,
foot?
100%. Yeah, I mean, we're already seeing townhouse product in those mid fives. The great one, obviously we're in Guildford versus Langley, but they're high fives. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Yeah.
Brittany, I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
As always, I'm going to remind you guys, check out those links below. Everything that we just talked about is shared in far more detail and prepared by our advisory team. Check those links. Make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. That gives you access to daily, the newswire, that roundup of all of that great media and content. And then, of course, our monthly, quarterly, and annual rhythms. Tons of great content that's shared, finds its way in your inbox. Makes it very easy to track the market. Brittany, unless you have anything else to close with?
No, I'll close with, we'll be in the Fraser Valley next month. So excited to be back in Langley, and looking forward to another edition.